Hello, my loves. Welcome back to the It Girl Mindset. I can't believe we're on the final episode of the Secret to Body Obsession series. This is part 4, and we are talking about why self-image dictates everything and how you can shift your identity, create an alter ego, so you can easily and effortlessly have the body that you want and become who you want to be. Okay, let's get into it. So first off, self-image dictates everything. It's essentially the foundation of your reality. It shapes how you show up in literally every single area of your life, including your body. Your thoughts dictate your beliefs. Your beliefs dictate how you take action. The action you take determines your outcome and your results. I know I say that all the time, but I just want to get it in your cute brain that it is powerful and it's true. I actually had a friend the other day that was like, there was this TikTok or video on Instagram that was like, I feel like this is you. And it was the girl talking into her water bottle, her beliefs or whatever. This is not even woo-woo. This is neuroscience. This is how your brain works. This is psychology. This is not just woo-woo manifestation, which I'm all about. I am all about that, as you probably know, but that's not what this is. This is your thoughts determine what actually happens in your life because it determines how you actually take action. Now, getting back into self-image, if you don't see yourself as someone who takes care of their body, you're not going to be able to. If you don't see yourself as someone who shows up for themselves and trusts themselves, you're not going to show up and you're not going to trust yourself. Your body follows your identity, not the other way around. Example, if you see yourself as a quote unquote fit person, or if you see yourself as a Pilates girly, you're showing up to Pilates. You literally cannot call yourself a Pilates girly if you don't go to Pilates, if you cancel every single week or every single day, whatever it may be. When you identify as something, it's who you believe you are at your core, okay? I even like to give this example. When I went vegan, one, I made it my whole personality, but not even that, I made it my identity. I was like, I just am a vegan girly. That's just who I am. That was the first time I ever saw the results that I wanted to when I was trying to lose weight. Okay. And I don't want you to think veganism is the way to go because it honestly caused a lot of other health issues for me that I'm still focusing on healing. But I will say, I dropped 20 pounds in I don't even know, maybe 6 weeks. It was because I shifted at an identity level. If someone asked me, hey, do you want to go get burgers or do you want to go eat whatever? I was like, sorry, I can't, I'm vegan. Or maybe I'll find something healthy, or maybe I'll eat dinner before, whatever it may be. Since I believed I was a vegan and I knew that's who I was at my core, I didn't have this decision fatigue of oh, do I go eat the burger or do I not? It's like, no, I'm a vegan, so I just don't eat meat, period. End of discussion. That's how powerful your identity is, okay? If you see yourself as a fit girly or a gym rat, whatever it may be, you're going to show up as that version. You're going to go to the gym. You're going to prioritize the gym over maybe going to happy hour. You're going to, if you're a Pilates girly, you're going to prioritize Pilates in the morning over sleeping in, okay? Your self-image and identity dictates how you show up. But it works the other way around too. If you identify as someone who struggles and plays the victim and XYZ, you see yourself as that way. So you're going to show up in that way. I've had a million different identities, okay? I've been the shy, quiet, mute girl, afraid of everything. And then I became a confident girl who talked. I shit you not. I ended up, this is what I did. You're going to get a little bit of my story. When I was younger, growing up, I was so shy, so quiet up until high school. Freshman year of high school, I was still afraid of everything. And there was one thing that happened where one day all of my 3 friends that I hung out with every single day were gone and I was alone and I was so afraid to eat lunch alone. I freaked out. I called my mom. She had to come pick me up even though she had to miss a really important work meeting. And she was like, Ash, I can't just miss work. So, and I'm so happy that she had that conversation with me because I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I am tired of being the shy, quiet, mute girl, afraid of everything. It was mentally exhausting because I lived so much in my head, which now that I have learned so much more about myself, I realized that I was a highly sensitive person, am a highly sensitive person, and that was why everything was so fearful for me. But anyways, one day I literally decided, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to switch schools. I want a new start. And I did that. I switched schools and I got to become just this different girl. I was with people who didn't know who I was. They had known my older brother. So I almost feel like that gave me like a leg up. I was like, okay, they know who my brother is. Like my brother is a very confident human being. Like I'm Taylor's little sister, so I'm going to be a confident human being. And it was so easy for me to be different because I looked at myself differently. I decided that I was going to change my identity, and I did. And then college came around. I became a party girl. That became my identity from my whole college experience up until something happened that I'll probably, I don't know, maybe one day I'll talk about on this podcast, but for now, I'm not there yet. Something really big happened and I changed. And I decided to really get into health and fitness. I became vegan. I essentially read this book and it convinced me to be vegan. And I made that my whole personality. And I lost 20 pounds and I became known as this like health and fitness girly. That's who I identified with. And then after that, I became the pro dancer girl. I truly embodied the shit out of becoming a pro dancer. And it took me a couple of tries, but I became a 49er cheerleader. Then I became a business owner girly, okay? All of these identity shifts helped me show up in the way that I wanted to. I feel like everyone used to be like, oh, you're so motivated. Like you always blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that's because I've always shifted who I was at an identity level. I wasn't like, oh, I'm the vegan girly, so I can't be the pro dancer girly. It's like, no, I get to decide whenever that I want to change. So I'm going to change. So I did. And when I was shifting these identities, I didn't know it at the time because I didn't learn about self-image and identity until I started in my boss girl era, okay? But after I was looking back, I was like, whoa, that is how I was able to show up so easily. Even my friends, like maybe we'd go out to a brewery and I was so focused on becoming a professional dancer. I would be like, I'll be the driver, or, you know, I'll go and I'll have like one, but like I'm leaving early and I wouldn't even like finish my glass of wine. Like I was so hooked on the idea of being a professional dancer and embodying that version of me that I didn't give a fuck. I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, like this sucks. I have to go work hard. No, I was so excited about it because that's who I knew I was at my core. Anyways, I've shifted identities a bajillion times, and the beauty is you get to shift your identity whenever you want. So if you want to become obsessed with your body, start telling yourself that that's who you are, okay? There are actually 3 layers of self-identity. So number 1 is self-concept, and this is how you see yourself. This is essentially the internal dialogue you have with yourself, the actions you take, how you see yourself as a person. Again, if you currently see yourself as someone who struggled with food, exercise, showing up, self-care, you put yourself on the back. If you view yourself as that person, that's how you're going to show up. Number 2 is the social identity, and this is how you think others perceive you. This is the thing. We make so many decisions based on how we think people see us. It's not even how people actually view us, it's how we think people see us. We literally will never know what people are thinking about us. Even if someone comes up to me and is like, oh my God, Ashley, I'm obsessed with you. Like, oh my God, they could be talking shit about me the next day. Like, I literally will never be in their brain. Even if they tell every single person around them, oh my God, I'm obsessed with Ashley. Oh my God, Ashley. But in her head, she's like, God, I fucking hate that bitch. Like, we will literally never know because we can't go into other people's brains. So stop, one, just as a caveat, stop taking action based on how you think other people perceive you, because you will literally never know. You might as well just convince yourself that they see you as that person that you want to be, okay? The way you believe others perceive you will dictate your choices, okay? When I went vegan, was so worried about how other people thought of me, like, oh my God, she's so annoying, she's vegan. Instead, that was not the perspective I have. I was like, oh my God, people think it's so cool that I'm vegan. Like, I convinced myself that. That also made it a million times easier to show up, because if I thought other people thought I was, oh my God, this girl is making vegan her whole personality, like, oh my God, she's so annoying, that would probably make it harder for me to want to be vegan, honestly, okay? And the thing is that we will literally never know what people think about us, so we might as well flip it to work in our favor and think that people think of us in whatever way that we want. If you, and this is me, think that everyone is judging you for your body, hi, it's me. That was me for years. My whole college experience, I thought every time I walked into, even like, I just remember sitting at this bar in Chico, and like we had some guy friends, they come up and were talking to us, but like I wasn't saying anything because I was super self-conscious, and I was like, no one wants to talk to me because I'm fat. They're all thinking about my body. Like they're all like, oh my God, I don't want to talk to Ashley because she's fat. Like, what? Thinking back, I'm like, that doesn't even make sense, but that's truly what I thought. And so it dictated how I showed up. I wasn't able to show up as a confident human being because I was so worried what people thought about my body, when they probably weren't even thinking about it, okay? They're probably thinking about drinking and whatever. Like, no one was thinking about my body. But again, We can convince ourselves of anything that we want. And I convinced myself that people didn't want to talk to me because of my body. And in turn, that made me show up differently. I wasn't confident. I was probably slumping my shoulder. I probably was like trying to talk in the conversation, but like didn't want to like interrupt because I felt like my voice wasn't important because I was fat. Like that is how I viewed myself. And it changed how I showed up. Even for example, going to the gym. When I was in college, when I was uncomfortable in my body, the downstairs area was all weights and it was all guys down there always. It wasn't until I viewed myself as a fit person that I allowed myself to walk down there and work out. Other than my friend Johnny, he would always be like, suck it up, we're going down there. But for the most part, I was scared. I was like, I don't belong down there. Because I didn't see myself as someone who was fit, I didn't allow myself to go into the main area of where all the weights were. All of the lifting equipment was. How you view yourself, how you think other people view you determines how you show up, period. The last piece and the third piece of identity is the self-ideal, the version of you that you're trying to become, okay? If there's a gap between your self-ideal and your current self, you will struggle to show up. But if you have this perspective of like, I'm working so hard, I know I'm going to be this future version of myself, you're showing up as her, it's going to feel easy and effortless, but you can close the gap. Okay, look at where you are now, where you want to be, and close the gap. These three parts are so powerful to understand, especially the self-concept, how you see yourself, and the social identity of how you think other people perceive you. These, in my opinion, are so powerful. I love working towards a new identity. I think it's so powerful and so fun, honestly, which we're going to talk about in a second. The beauty of all of these is you get to decide. You get to change. You get to decide right now in this very moment how you want to see yourself, how you believe other people see you, and the identity that you're working towards. You get to change all of them. Easy peasy. So, start right now. So the last part we're going to talk about is creating your alter ego. This is essentially your next level identity, okay? So I'm sure you guys know this, but Beyonce goes by Sasha Fierce, and this is actually her alter ego. She created this because she didn't feel confident and like a badass and like this gorgeous, confident woman. So she literally created a new identity, named her Sasha Fierce, and showed up as her. And pretty soon, Beyonce merged with Sasha Fierce, and she didn't need to feel that anyway because she knew who she was. Like, I think Beyonce, you look at her and she just knows who she is, the epitome of confidence. Like, I don't know, you just look at her and she just like knows she's hot and she knows she's confident, okay? You don't like look at Beyonce and you're like, bet she's really in her head right now. No, you know, she is hyping herself up in her head, okay? And that's what I want you to get to because you deserve it just as much as Beyonce does. When you create this alter ego, this next level identity, you're able to feel what it feels like to be this higher level version of yourself, okay? So instead of waiting to feel confident, you become confident through action, through feeling. Eventually, your subconscious mind, you know, those automatic habits, the automatic part of your brain will identify with that next level self, okay? It is so powerful. Just ask Beyonce. So step one, we're going to define your alter ego. You can literally make a name for her, but you are going to define all of her qualities. What's her energy? What's her vibe? How does she move? How does she eat? How does she dress? How does she speak to herself? How do other people think about her? When she walks into a room, how does she make other people feel? Go in, take some time, light a candle, get some tea or coffee, journal it out, write it on your computer, whatever it may be. List out all the qualities of who you want to be. Nothing is too big or too small, okay? If it's in your brain, it's in there for a reason. Write it down. Next, you're going to align your actions with your alter ego. If your alter ego is a Pilates girly, you're going to start going to Pilates. If your alter ego wears bright colors and wears sports bras to the gym, you're going to wear bright colors and sports bras to the gym. If she goes once a week and gets a green juice, you're going to go once a week and get a green juice, okay? You get my point. Start to show up as her, and over time, you will actually become her. Step number 3 is to anchor into this alter ego every single day. Example, you can visualize yourself being her. Visualization is so powerful. If you listen to my last podcast episode, I talked about it in I talked about it in detail, just the power of mental rehearsal and visualization. So if you're an avid podcast listener, you know the deets on that. But what I do, and I freaking love, every time I'm leveling up or shifting my identity in any way, I listen to a playlist that embodies that. Also, if you have Spotify, they have so many freaking playlists on there. It's so freaking powerful. Example, I'm shifting right now into siren energy, which is like just so magnetic. She's slow. She does everything with intention. She's just so into herself and knows who she is that everything around her is just magnetized to her. So siren energy is currently what I'm working on shifting into. This morning, as I was getting ready, was slow and being intentional, I literally went on Spotify and I was like, Siren Energy playlist. Literally had one. I was like, perfect. And it was like perfect. It was like The Weeknd on there and stuff like, and I don't know. I don't think everybody's like this, but music makes me feel so different. Like music can change my state. It can change my energy. Use it to your advantage if you are one of those girlies. Go on your walk. Instead of listening to a podcast, listen to a playlist. Listen to music that makes you feel that energy of your alter ego and your next level self, okay? Those two tools are so freaking powerful. Visualize, mental rehearsal, and listen to music. It's so powerful. Hey, shit, listen to music and visualize at the same time, okay? Lastly, you need to embody your new identity through aligned action. I know I kind of mentioned this, but I just want to put an emphasis on this. If you do not start to show up as her, you will never be her. You need to show up, take the action, ask yourself, back to being a disciplined queen episode, what would my future self do? Would she take the action to go to a Pilates class, or would she snooze her alarm and pay the $50 fee for skipping Pilates class? Okay, no, she goes. Make micro shifts, okay? If she's a Pilates girly that works out 5 days a week and you have not worked out in a year, start small. Try going once a week, okay? If she has smoothies every single morning and eats a ton of fiber, maybe focus on one meal first. Okay, I'm just going to start with the smoothies, and then I'll work on and then I'll work on lunch, and then I'll work on dinner. Take small actions, but the more small habits and shifts you can start to make, the easier and quicker you're going to become her, okay? Don't change everything at once. That is a recipe for disaster. You guys know, like we've all tried to change a million things at once, and then we get frustrated and we throw our hands up in the air, and then we end up not sticking with anything. And if you want more advice on habits, routines, how to hack your brain, again, my last podcast episode and YouTube video, I talked about 6 habits to become a disciplined queen, so go listen to that. Self-image is so powerful. How you see yourself is so powerful. How you believe others perceive yourself is so powerful. And creating a new identity, alter ego, is so powerful. When you are trying to be confident in your body, which is what I work one-to-one with clients on, when you shift at an identity level, you show up for yourself. You start to embody confidence before you're seeing the physical changes. Your nervous system becomes regulated because you don't have this decision fatigue of, do I do this? Do I do that? You are so calm and grounded and know exactly who you are and what you're going to do that you feel calm and your body feels safe, okay? Identity is a huge piece of what I work on my clients with. If you are interested in one-to-one coaching, I do have 2 spots left right now. And what you will do is apply down below the mind body method. It is application only, and we will set up a free strategy call if I feel like you would be a good fit for the program. Again, we work on mind, body, nervous system combining so you can heal from the inside out. We will learn about your particular brain, see how it works. You will learn how to rewire it for confidence in sticking to any habit that you want. We will also regulate your nervous system, so you get a nervous system protocol so you can feel calm and grounded and peaceful, so your body feels safe to see the changes that you want, whether that is weight loss, maybe that is inflammation, maybe that is feeling safe in your body, okay? And we'll also work on your body, which is learning what your body needs. What is it craving? Food-wise, self-care-wise, learning to listen to your body, your hunger and fullness cues. I will never hand you a diet plan and a workout plan and say, go do this. You're going to learn intuitive movement, listening to your own body, what your body's actually craving in forms of movement, what cravings mean in terms of listening to your body. The mind body method is so fucking powerful, and it's because I tried every diet in the book. When I got to the weight that I wanted to, I still was stuck in this headspace of needing to stick to these strict protocols and eating strict food, and it just was exhausted. It was just so exhausting. Once I learned to tap in and listen to my own body and what it needs, it was like a weight was lifted off of my shoulders, okay? When you tap in and learn the mind body method, your life will get so much better, okay? We've spent so much time negatively obsessing over your body, and you deserve to feel obsessed with your body in the best, most positive way so you can live an extraordinary life, okay? Us girlies over here, we are not living basic lives, okay? We want to do extraordinary things, and to do extraordinary things, you need to feel so confident in your body and feel so good and energized and motivated and magnetic, okay? You deserve it, my love. Okay, that wraps up the Secret to Body Obsession series, all about self-image, identity. I hope you guys love this series. If you want to hear more series like this, go ahead and DM me on Instagram. If you think someone needs to hear this and wants the motivation to shift at an identity level, just like Beyonce, go ahead and send it their way or post it on Instagram, and on your Instagram story and tag me at Ashley Roberts. I would absolutely love to see your biggest takeaways. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next episode.